introduced to the Bloodlines, the kind of social club of movers and shakers that passes through the periphery of Eloria. Not quite in the spotlight, but just behind the scenes, just behind the curtains. And as we went around meeting each of these colorful and unique individuals, we got a little bit of an insight into their day-to-day lives, their goings-on, their thoughts, their worries. We learned quite a bit, and we left off with Faust, Dr. Coalescence, and Corbyn in the bowels of the city, in the pump room, kind of a sanctum built, hidden in plain sight, constructed for the to house the apparatus, the celestial conduit that you all have been working on for the better part of a decade. We left off with Nimbus, who was preparing handfuls of bouquet centerpieces for this amazing gala being held this very evening to honor the commencement of this very project. The project that you're all wrapped up in some form or another. The project that your city is now wired into. And above all, we have Alistair poking his eyes here and there, trying to glean what information he can from his sanctum at the heights of the city. So we'll snap back in to it's a couple hours past. You guys have had busy days, especially on the eve of the activation. There is a tremendous amount of work to be done. Nimbus, you have flowers to grow and tend and get arranged. Most of this is stuff that your underlings could 100% be doing for you, but it's the type of thing that feels good to get your hand in the dirt and get the magic flowing and work through it. We move past some of the final testings and fittings down in the pump room, just buttoning up the last minute details. Faust focusing in on trying to put together any of these clues about these spies, how they might have been getting their information. And I think we will jump back in to Finicky's character, Corbyn. It is late afternoon, say 3 to 4 o'clock. It is a beautiful, beautiful, cloudless 75-degree day here at the very heights of Eloria in the Towers of Elise, at the very crown atop the highest mountain slope. A big difference from the kind of grungy, a little bit dingy digs that we last saw you in down in the pump room. But as we move into this approaching evening hour, we find ourselves at the one of the more opulent outdoor venues in the Towers district, the Nine-Pointed Star. It's so named for each pillar of arcane magic in the great colleges of Eloria. The Nine-Pointed Star is a massive outdoor venue. It has a huge double height walls, central building, almost completely ensconced in glass, with fountains out front and beautiful topiaries, some of them floating in the air on unseen magical currents. And then out back a large amphitheater, and then 9 actual points to a star jutting out over the essentially the terrace ledge, the cliffside down, overlooking it. You'll never find a better view of the city of Eloria than from one of the points at this venue. They act like tiny little balconies that just give you a view over, and with some of Valtress's work, almost assuredly, they are completely isolated from one another by audio. You can stand on one and stand on another and not be able to have a conversation 20 feet apart. So it's kind of renowned for a location for some of the movers and shakers to make maybe some below board dealings requiring only a binding verbal contract, perhaps maybe a Gaius spell. But we find ourselves here at the Nine-Pointed Star, Lord Fairweather, as you are now attending to the final touches of establishing and throwing this gala that require your direct involvement. And when I say involvement and direct involvement, I mean just the most piddly shit in the entire world. You've got a large, very rectangular Warforged standing in front of you, essentially. Warforged or an autognome, some type of construct, standing in front of you, and in his hand are 2 serving trays, and on each serving tray is a floral centerpiece that has been sent over from the conservatory. One of them has a beautiful arrangement of flowers with some delicate purples intersposed, and then another one has almost identical arrangement of flowers. However, the purples in these flowers have like black veins and red veins kind of running through the leaves, giving them kind of a 3-dimensional effect. And the robot, the automatos, stands there, and it says, "My lord, I have no idea which one is the appropriate centerpiece. I do not have the ability to make decisions like that."
Right. Corbin looks between both of them, and if he could squint his eyes, he would. But his eyes just floats back one to the other, to the other. I'm going to be honest. They're both flowers. That is the extent of me caring.
I
just
will
pick one and
take
put it
your
out.
word for that, sir. I don't know what flowers are.
Just pats him on his metal arm. Don't worry, you won't be decommissioned for this. Just throw him out there. Not literally. Wait.
Oh.
He stops. Keep forgetting you're a simple-minded creature.
Arm starts to morph into a small catapult, and it's
just set them on a table down where everything's going to happen. So, jeez, this way.
understood.
Hire people. Yes. All right. On your way.
As he's pitter-pattering off, you see Barney. He comes running up. It's hard to say if he's more frazzled than you are. He's probably run about as thin as you are. He's just got body parts, you know. He comes running up and he's like, "Oh, my lord, you've made it. Perfect. Okay, so we have, I think, the makings of a fine gala tonight."
I'm sure we do. We've got all our best people out of it, and you are on it. So
Well, I mean,
everything will be fine, I'm sure.
Quite. I do hope so, because we should have quite a lot of movers and shakers coming in. We got a bunch coming down from the ivory up top. They're good. They're good for money, you know. They're good for throwing those checkbooks around. We need something to focus on now that the conduit's complete, or nearly complete.
Yes. 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 Well, yeah, everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
What?
No fish this time. Everything's fine.
No, you hesitated there, and I'm a little concerned. Are
No
we?
hesitation. No. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. Party
my
pooper.
my
Nope.
mistake.
No.
My mistake. My mistake. I will.
Barney, take a deep breath.
I don't know what that is, but I will try.
It does this thing. Like goes. Nothing happens. It's just the movement, and it's just like that.
Okay, so I need to expand
moment.
my
Just a
central
moment.
diaphragm chamber, but
Moment of calm. That's it. Just a moment of calm.
he keeps like looking like he wants to say something, but no. Has it been a moment yet?
Sure. So I keep telling you, you really need to pay attention to how people and living things work. Because the more you're not like them, the more you freak them out.
But you always say we don't care about the normies.
No, I don't care about the normies.
Okay.
Okay? We are a business. We have to care about the normies, or at least give them the impression that we care about them, okay? There's two completely different things.
So
right?
by
Put that
giving them 2-day free
in
shipping,
here,
right?
remember. We will come around back to that idea at a later time. Today is about bigger things, much bigger things. We've got a new toy.
Right. The whole city's abuzz. They shouldn't be, but they are.
No, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Everything will be fine. Val has everything under control. We've done very good work, and everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
I trust you implicitly, so.
You should.
But okay, right. So did you get the centerpieces sorted? They were quite concerned about the subtle differences.
Yep. It sure did. I just told him to put them out there.
Perfect. I believe 100% in your artistic vision.
Barney, they're flowers. They're flowers.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know shit about flowers.
Nobody knows shit about flowers. They all act like they do. They don't. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, look at the lovely composition, and these flowers mean this, and the colors mean that. They don't know anything. They're just making things up.
Well, it's funny you say that, actually. I was, just the other day, I found myself delivering a parcel of automata to the ivory, to the Hall of Abjuration, and I swear, they had a centerpiece inside their main lobby. The damn thing was the most poisonous concoction of plants I've ever seen in my life. They just had them because they look pretty.
You see? Nobody knows anything. Nothing. It's just pretty.
Oh, right. So I think we can expect some of the usual nosebleeds and bores to kind of trickle in the next hour or two. We've got some gift bags to kind of give out, and they'll just go away, hopefully. They won't stick around very long. And then the herds of paparazzi, they'll be flooding in the moment the higher-ups start showing up.
Yes, just make sure you're just keeping the riffraff out.
Oh.
That's all I ask.
My lord,
No
the
riffraff.
riffraff would have to figure out teleportation to even get on the list, to be on the list,
Look,
if you know what I
don't
mean.
those riff-raffies. I mean these paparazzi riffraff.
Oh, well, I mean, it's part of the territory, love.
They're annoying.
Of course they are, but they make us look good on paper.
Barney, I'm gonna say this again. And he like leans in very threateningly. He's like, they are annoying. Keep them away from me.
Right you are, sir. Right you are.
All right, well, Barney, I'm sure you have lots of stuff to get ready for this gala. I'm gonna go choose what coat I should wear because apparently that matters if I don't wear one.
It does.
People like it. When
The
I go a little
paparazzi
close.
will
I
see
don't-
you with
I don't know why. What? All my bits out?
bits, bobs, bolts, nuts, and miscellaneous, I believe.
Yeah, they wish they had these bits and bobs. Anyways.
What-
You
What's,
pop off.
what's Corbyn got under the hood?
Circuits.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't really know the answer to that question. But perfect.
Well, anyways.
As Corbyn sets Barney and some of the higher up, more respected automata are setting about putting the final touches on this glorious gala, you retreat to maybe meet with your PR people and maybe plan out an outfit and make it look casual and natural. Who knows? But as we transition from there, there's a little bit of time left in the day. I'll open up the floor. Does anybody have anything particular that they're wanting to do before the gala this evening? Going once, going twice. Cool. Perfect. Okay. So, how about this? Let's everybody roll me a d20. You can roll it in Foundry, or you can just roll it on a real dice. Whatever you want to do. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Wait, how does Foundry work again? Oh no.
I gotta, yeah, figure.
Button, and then it works.
I'm just going to my app real quick.
Oh, you're fine, yeah.
13.
13, and a 12, and a 10, and a 19.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, we can.
Some odd
Yes,
reason I
sir.
keep on losing connection.
I got a 19.
Perfect.
All right. I pull up Foundry and it just gives me Corbyn.
Embrace the cold.
It might do
just had-
both. You'll just have to go into the Actors tab and pull up Faust.
What?
If that makes sense.
It does. I know exactly what you're talking about. It just keeps on showing me. Okay, you wanted a perception check?
No, just a flat D20, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
Let me see how we're all out of here. And it's
Are you
showing
wanting
me
us
the
to
game
see
paused. It's not letting me do anything, Jake.
Oh, that's probably my fault. Yeah, that's definitely my fault.
Well, it's showing the Legends of abhaile.
We're the same server, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are on the wrong thing. That's why. My bad. You guys should.
We're on a beach.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Gotcha. Sorry, guys.
Nicki Minaj is there.
You want to make sure you wanted to see us a black screen?
I'm going
Right
to
now?
log out again.
Oh,
and
no,
log
you
back
should
It
in.
says we have no vision.
Oh, see, this is
There's no tragedy happening now. We're just having a beach episode.
it's totally right. Like, yeah, it's just
This is just a filler arc where we all go to the beach and relax.
Too, and it's going terribly.
there. You go, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, give me a second.
There we
Shit,
go.
that's us. That's our little thumbnail.
Dump
Okay,
snail.
that's
Yeah.
us.
But perfect. With a 19, we will start off with Nimbus. It's just past sunset, to the point where that sky is turning a nice, like, kind of a cornflower blue before it goes to a dark blue, before it goes to all the way dark. We have, up on the Towers of Elise district at the Nine-Pointed Star, Nimbus arriving for the gala. I would say, at this time, I would say casually on time. So just to give you guys kind of a idea for the outside of the Nine-Pointed Star, it's fronted by a large, maybe 75-foot long building, like a candy bar proportions, of rectangle, with marble walls, but you can barely see the walls, as they're almost every inch of it is occupied by giant cast iron or wrought iron cased windows, floor to ceiling, letting in light everywhere. The ceiling of this thing, which has kind of a red clay tiles, is mostly skylight, as it's just a more climate-controlled and intimate setting, one of the many different venue areas of the gardens themselves here. But there are, as night has begun to set, floating lanterns dance through the gardens, along the walkways just above head height, letting out a soft glow. It's kind of a setup where there's not any one big party space. It's more several small intimate areas where people can go and talk. It's very isolated and quiet and spread out enough that it thins the artificially does a little bit of traffic management for the people inside. And then at the middle of the outdoor area behind this front building is the amphitheater, which is where there's a huge raised dais that bards and bands and orchestras and sometimes just single talented mages will perform on. There's been a big resurgence, actually, in what they're calling Magitechno. It's like it's just a bunch of prestidigitation cantrips and air drums. It's pretty good. It's yeah, it's sweaty light stick, glow stick parties, just horrible bass lines where it's like a wizard and he only knows 4 beats, and one of he's playing an auto player.
I think Alistair hates it on principle.
Of course, right? But yeah, Nimbus, how are you? Do you think getting to the gala this evening? There are a number of means of transportation available to you guys as some of the higher ups of the city. There are teleportation circles that have kind of permanently refreshing scrolls that are kind of like large citywide elevators that'll take you from the top of like the Towers district or to the Opal Gardens, down to the various levels of the Undercity, depending on where you need to go. Some mages have their own. It's kind of like I mean, Valtris has been there before. It's a grueling little bit of an initiation when you want to apprentice under one of the high mages. A lot of time is spent as their kind of perpetual and ever-ready attendant and porter, ready to whisk them off at a moment's notice, kind of with no other purpose in your life. So there's a fair bit of that as well as some of the more archaic and lesser known methods of transportation that Nimbus might have special purview to in the conservatory. Things like the ability to transport through plants and things like that. So yeah, how do you think Nimbus shows up?
She's avoiding everything else, all that other stuff. She's flying.
Hey.
And
yeah.
typically would want to follow the winds, but since there isn't any really much of a breeze here, she's going to make her own through bits of controlling the gusts around her, kind of make it a little bit. It's one of the moments. It's a party. She doesn't get to show her more party self more often, so she's going to try to make it seem somewhat grand as she's coming in, probably through a balcony window.
I dig it. Heck yeah. Roll me a perception check as you start to descend towards the gardens here at the 9-pointed star and see what we can find for a good landing spot.
First crit failed the game.
The first one.
She lands in a toilet.
The first
I am.
Crashes into a centerpiece.
I feel like I'm more looking at, yes, this is nice and open and everything, but it would be better if there were some clouds. And I am very focused upon that. These clear skies are boring. And it would be better if we had a little bit of shade, a little bit of gust, some maybe colors that are just not clear skies.
Colors? What? I just imagine Nimbus as a bird just coming slam into the patio door, just whack.
And then because of that, I completely miss everything else.
Nimbus just wants to paint with all the colors of the wind.
She doesn't realize there's just green on the door and just right into
Eloria
it.
would allow wind. Yeah. She would paint with the colors of the wind.
Yeah, that's true. These guys are kind of prudish. They... Because here's the thing. Eloria is fairly far south in the hemisphere, to the point where it would be quite chilly here almost year-round, given your all's altitude. And then it would be quite unbearable through most of the Undercity, with the heat of everything just compacted and built upon itself. So if there wasn't any type of weather manipulation put in place a long time ago, there probably wouldn't be much of an Eloria today. So it's one of those kind of necessary evils, I guess.
You're still gonna think they can at least have summoned some clouds.
Absolutely. But hey, Nimbus, coming in hot from the sky in complete cloud sprite style is just the best, and it helps you kind of wade through the wade through the throng of paparazzi and adoring fans that have gathered towards the front gates of the gardens, there to ambush any would-be archmage or person of note to come by, just for the off chance of an autographed spell scroll, or maybe even if they're lucky to get polymorphed into a sheep or some type of adorable animal. But yeah, as you are looking around the party, kind of catching your bearings, imagining what it would look like if there were beautiful clouds blowing overhead. The lantern lights around you kind of flare with intensity just a hair as you see Corbyn walking out from the main building, flanked by a handful of automata that are prattling on about something. As the lights begin to of the sky, it begins to transition further and further into proper night. But as you kind of make your way through the main kind of area where they've got all the tables set up for people to be gathering and dancing and mingling, listening to music playing, which right now there is a beautiful harpist playing up on the dais. She's got just a really diminutive looking elven woman with a massive, like orchestral harp, and she's playing it with the speed and articulation of someone that has 3 hands. Yeah, if you want to, if you're curious, you can make me an Arcana check or an investigation, kind of in passing. Yay, 12. That's totally. It's not that hard to see the faint fluttering kind of heat mirage-y telltale shimmer of the predator, or also mage hands that are kind of disguised. They can come in handy in a lot of different ways, but she plays on amplified to the entire area. You notice something though. It takes you a little bit as you're starting to make your rounds and kind of figure it out, what's going on, where everybody's kind of at, what's the vibe. You look over and you kind of don't even realize it at first, but one of the centerpiece on the table, it's one of the centerpieces you made. It's your flowers, except your mind goes to a place. And we probably ought to roll a history check on this one just to be on the safe side, Nimbus.
$70.
Hey, that's a very respectable history check. Yeah, 100%. It looks like one of your purple flowers, one of your special purple flowers. But it's kind of not. You're sitting here for a few minutes looking as the party is starting to actually fill. It's those black veins on the underside of the leaves and those red veins on the overside of the leaves that just... That's not your work. It looks like your work. It's got the same structure, it looks like, but what's going through Nimbus's head right now looking at this flower, this imposter flower?
When she would have arrived, yeah, she would have started exactly observing and making sure all the bouquets, petals, everything are in exact place. So when she sees this one, she will go directly to it and begin to study it. I would like to do like a nature upon it to see if maybe I could decipher, do I know what type of flower this is? If it's perhaps, first thought I would think would be maybe, it wouldn't have been me, of course, someone have picked one that has been diseased, or if it's...
Yeah, 100%. I totally
if I
see
can
where
recall the name of what this is.
Yeah, go for it. Roll me a nature check. Roll me a nature check with advantage. You're the high botanist of the Koronoth Conservatory. Yeah. Hey, that's a good one.
Glad you gave me advantage because the first one was a 2.
Hey, you know, sometimes you got to celebrate your station, right? With a 17 nature check, are your purple flowers named normally? Do you have a name for them?
I do.
Would I be an asshole if I asked you what that name was right now?
No, I will message it to you.
Okay, cool. I think you might have already done that, actually, and I'm just drawing a blank on that.
No, that's okay. No, I don't think I gave you the actual name of it, but recall-wise, Tosh doesn't remember. So let me pull up my document.
Oh, you're fine. But anyways, while you're working on that, I will kind of multitask us here and say, this is not one of yours. It's got a lot of it's got the same structure. It's the same host plant for sure. Like down to the, like you can even, like you can trace the genesis of, especially with your eyes of years of service dedicated to the arcane cultivation of goods and plant life. This is a 100% conjured plant, just like your flowers, but it's something more. It's your recipe, but it's been tweaked a bit. It's I'll say roll me an Arcana check on top of that as well,
Okay.
ma'am, because there's definitely
Yes.
something going on with this.
Is it Arcana?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
There's definitely something going on with it. There are other weaves of magic baked into this plant. Other sets of instructions written into its DNA. Other sets of instructions that are both modifying your instructions baked into the plant and changing them entirely in certain ways.
does it appear safe to touch? Because if so, she's plucking it right out of that bouquet. That imperfection.
I'll say on a 17, it appears safe to touch.
Okay. Then yeah, she's plucking it.
Okie dokie. I will. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to get us at a cooler screen here because we have the technology.
Ooh.
Perfect. Okay. 1 extra second while I read this message that you sent me. Heck yeah. Okay, perfect. Whoopsies. So you know the problem you were having the other day, Tosh, with your videos going gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having that problem myself lately.
A lot of it is due to if you minimize Discord, it will go gray. Or if they're both on the same screen and you're flip-flopping between the two windows, it could potentially go gray too. I found that if you don't completely maximize Discord, but it looks like it's maximized, it's just you don't click the button, that helps.
Yeah, and for some reason, turning them on and off will stop them from getting frozen too. It's such a weird thing. Because I've had that happen about 18 times tonight. Yeah. So as you grab this flower, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
That's never a good sign.
These should... Oh, it's pretty low with a +10.
Thankfully, the DC on this is super low. So no ill effects whatsoever, Nimbus. Although I will say, that kind of putting that that history and that nature check together, even that Arcana helped out just a little bit. You're aware that there was an effect intended when you plucked that plant. there was 100% something supposed to happen. You could feel the influence on your on the magical weave around you. Something was supposed to happen when you touched that plant, and it was probably not something good. But your years of resolve had hardened you to it.
Would I assume that Jolie is hanging out just kind of like my shadow?
Yes, absolutely. You see probably right about this exact moment as you're done finally like inspecting the flower before you. She comes pushing through the massive double doors coming out from the main building into the back area where the open spaces are, kind of frantically looking around for you. And I'll say you see her before she sees you as she's starting to panic and kind of look around. She's kind of, oh, I don't know.
I'm gliding, across the room to her. The moment that I see her, I'm keeping the little plant at a safe distance from my body, but I'm making sure I'm not accidentally going to be brushing it against anyone that I walk past.
Okay.
And then I'll just kind of like catch Jolie's eye, and then step to the side, like kind of like a signal to like, I need to talk to you.
Oh, hello. I found you. I was lost. There was a lot of people outside. It was
Yes.
overwhelming.
Good evening, Jolie. It is nice to see you once again. You look lovely. By the way, your hair is
Thank you.
beautiful. We have a problem.
Oh, okay. What's the problem? Do we need more centerpieces?
No, centerpiece is enough. Do, though, write it down. Remind me that I need to speak to Corbyn about that, about his timeliness, about sending in those orders. Reminding him that I told him last year to at least give me a week in advance, and he didn't do that. So we need to speak to him about that. If you just jot that in my notes for me.
I will gladly do that. We did send him a singing telegram, informing him of
He needs another one.
Yeah, we know that he hates the singing telegrams so much, so we'd like to pepper those on a little bit, especially around Christmas time.
Exactly. That's why I think put it down, just another one. Maybe if we do more of them, it'll be a message that you'll remember for next year. Anyway, problems. I don't want to start the evenings on problems, but I don't know where this one came in, but we have a imposter amongst the bouquets.
Okay. An imposter?
Imposter. And she'll like kind of hold the flower up a little bit so that she can see what it looks like, but she's definitely gonna make sure that it's nowhere near that she's gonna be able to touch it.
We'll hop back into this with Nimbus standing behind in the large open rear gardens of the Nine-Pointed Star, talking with Jolie, your assistant there. So we'll pick back up there. So you think there's an imposter?
Yes, it is a flower that I'm not too familiar with. It appears that it has been tainted. And she'll hold it up. Just like kind of by the stem for her to see. I'm going to need to make sure that there's not any more of these, just kind of what the young ones say, hanging around in the other bouquets.
Absolutely. And let me check something real quick. I just want to look at a spell component.
That's never a good sign.
Bad.
Don't do that.
Bad, evil. No.
What? It's nothing.
Don't.
It's locate plants.
Okay.
Never mind.
We have
That's
not
what
had a
explosion.
battle yet, so good lord, when Lord
In
knows
my
when this is gonna
defense,
happen.
I'm so paranoid.
Well,
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it. I can try to put myself in your all's shoes. This guy just gave us a lot of magic items, and I've seen Calamity, and I'm a little scared. I get it. We're waiting for that shoe to drop. Trust has to be built. Rome wasn't built in a day, but, trust in the DM has to be. She'll examine the flower very carefully, kind of tracing her hand through the air, making symbols that no one else around could see. But you, being attuned to some of the primal magics of abhaile, you're able to pick up what she's doing as she's casting a spell around the plant without touching it. She suffuses it with magic, simulating its connection to the weave as she expands her influence out with this, to you, just barely perceptible, slow-moving billow of force that kind of blossoms out from the middle, and until it encompasses the entire cliffside. And her eyes kind of go foggy as she looks around, and a fair amount of shock on her face.
Everything's your breeze.
They're at every table, High Botanist.
Every wandering table. Everyone.
It looks like I can't confirm this. It's overloading me a little bit, actually. But it does look like it's a possibility that it might have been all of the centerpieces we provided.
That was I'm going to need to speak to Forrest. I'm going to tell him, don't touch it. We just want to make sure that no one here at Thundering touch those stems, okay? We don't want you to get sick. I don't need to hear Corbyn or Val to tell me that flowers ruined tonight's business, okay? Let's not have that. There's a little static now kind of going through her hair. We don't want that, okay? We don't need that. We need, as much as I would love a storm here right now, we need calm winds.
Calm winds, yes, we can do that. She, like, in a flutter, bugs off to go try to find Faust or one of the others. In that mild state of panic and possible anxiety attack happening in real time, we will shimmy away to the front gates of the Nine-Pointed Star as Alistair, how do you think you're coming into the event this evening?
So Alistair definitely wants as much attention on him as possible, because if he doesn't get attention, he will start crying. So basically, I want just to vibe check how fancy, like, what is the dress code for this event, basically?
Oh, that is a very good question. It is extraordinarily. It's definitely not formal. People are wearing comfortable evening gowns and comfortable suits, but there's not a whole lot of presence of tails or ruffled ascots, things like that. It's a very much more formal, casual style of get together. There are a lot of suit jackets and robes that don't have their shoulders padded, and kind of.
So we're not at 1970. Got it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Alistair's arriving like it's a fucking Met Gala.
Essentially,
he's going to arrive flying in on Crowley's arcane hand that he's casting. Crowley is here, but I'm imagining in the public-facing persona, Crowley appears to be Alistair's body man, which is basically just kind of like someone who like holds the door open, carries your bags and everything. And so he
Is valet.
in Crowley, the public just sees him as this individual wearing like the what is it like the colors of the Prognosticators Guild again?
So the Prognosticators Guild is it's a lot of there's a lot of gold adorned on their tower, but the Prognosticators Guild is actually kind of a newer guild in the city's infrastructure. So the Unforeseen Sanctum is in fact it's an appropriation and a redevelopment kind of. So the fact that there's a huge gold, centerpiece to that building is kind of irrelevant. Several shades of gray, not 50 because that's copywritten, but
49.
and
49 shades of gray.
a really equivalent
49
number. Shades of gray as well as platinums and silvers and types of reflective metals and things like that.
So I imagine public-facing, Crowley wears like a golden mask that covers his face, adorned with a eye on it. Additionally, like with this long white robe. But Alistair himself is, again, dressing like it's a fucking Met Gala. So he comes in, flying in on a arcane hand. He's in basically this, he has a giant mantelpiece on, with this kind of like almost kind of, it looks like in the back of his head, there's like a kind of cape of peacock feathers around it.
Okay.
And this massive like cloak going down. Also, it's also a cloak made of peacock feathers. His outfit itself is adorned in like gold and purple and crystals and everything. He also has a corset on that makes his waist like 20 inches. Is basically, and this just it's very long and flowing and elaborate. But there's a very, very public, almost like where his chest would be. There's kind of like a sphere-ish cutout, in the shape of a heart, with basically a line that looks like a break running down through it. And so he's showing up to this event, and he makes sure to arrive a little bit too far from the gate, so he is signing spell scrolls as he goes in, like soaking up all the public's attention.
Absolutely. As the arcane hand touches down, and Crowley is he takes a moment to dismiss it, or to let it hover above, however he wants to do it. Just enough time so that people can see the glowing appendage land and know that, hey, somebody important just showed up. And I think it's a good showing today. How swamped do you want me to how swamped do you want me to let you get?
Oh, absolutely, as suave as possible. If this city is not going to pay attention to us, we'll make them pay attention. He says that telepathically.
He gives
and
you
then he's just
yeah. Go ahead, man. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying something.
Oh, no. I'm just excited to be here on TV, man.
Joan Rivers just in the corner, like making announcements of all the people showing up at this event. Sorry, fantasy Joan Rivers.
Heck yeah, and
so the Joan Rivers from Shrek.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Joan Rivers from Shrek 2.
I'm pretty sure we can actually get her on here. So
We can get Joan Rivers for this podcast, absolutely.
She's not doing stuff.
If Dark Dungeon got Jeff
I
Goldblum,
mean,
I feel like we can get
If
Joan
we have a
Rivers.
necromancer, we might be able to get her on here.
Oh, she
but
dead? Oh no.
yeah, she died like 10 years ago.
No, I don't want that. I just want a cleric. Give me a cleric, Nimbus. Can you cast Animate Dead on this a few times? She's got 5 questions at a time. That's how we keep a limit on her.
We could.
Let me
Who
just
are
add it
you
to my
wearing?
spell list.
Who are you wearing today, darling? Oh my god. My face is 74, my vagina is 12. You know, that's like the type of shit she would do.
In the world of Eloria, she would unfortunately fit in beautifully. But yeah, so as you are getting settled and ready to push into the throng of onlookers, Crowley hands you a pretty nondescript looking scroll case. It's just one scroll by the looks of it, with a black leather to it. It's really nice.
Can I make a stealth check to quickly read that?
You absolutely can. Go ahead and give me that. Give me that roll, and he'll look at you and be like, "I might have snuck into the office of the got a couple scrolls here that you can kind of hand out to some of the poorer looking folks that come up for an autograph. A little bit of charity. It's
Ooh.
But and I would say you don't. Something you know about this scroll case for free is that this is a scroll case of storing. So there is a number of scrolls in here, and you really don't even need to. If you don't want to, I mean, if you want to roll something, go for it, man.
I roll a stealth check to just quickly look in there, see what kind of scrolls it was. I got, without the public seeing, I got 21.
Okay, 21, perfect. I love it. Yeah, you real quick give it a glance, and it is loaded with I actually have a thing here. We can find out what it's got on it. I have tables on tables on tables. I have a table for tables. It is a scroll of, perfectly with an 8 on that. It's a scroll of scrying, a 5th level scroll of divination. That you are more than welcome to hand out to some of the more dingy or malnourished or less glitzy looking fans. But as you approach, they are on you before they even can tell who you are. They really don't care. Somebody with magic just walked in, big dick in a locker room style, into the gardens, and they're all over you, and they immediately do recognize you from your station and your prominence, and they're, "Oh, will you read my future, sign my fortunes? Would you, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna pass the test? Blah, blah, blah." And just randomly shouting random things at you that you couldn't possibly know or care to know. But they're handing you spell scrolls. They're throwing various different types and assigned genders worth of underwear come your way. It's a
as I'm also imagining, as there's Alistair's very aware of the crowd and everything, and he looks until he sees a camera person, and he's sees a tiny little child who's begging for a scroll. He leans down and hands the scroll to the child, so that there's a public shot of that. 100%.
One of the the porta scribes, they call them, for the Eloria messenger cantrip, which is the kind of the paper of record for the city of Eloria. They have these specially trained bards and scribes that travel the streets and go to various organizational gatherings, things like that, galas, parties, and they have these crystals that are renowned for their ability to record a situation completely. Some of that, in fact, came from the Prognosticators Guild, that technology. But yeah, absolutely, you find this little he's a mage. We're not really sure what he does. He's got on kind of an oversized mage's robe that's of a dark gray and brown. It's not anything special, and it looks like it was probably a hand-me-down. And he's got just a small 4 or 5-year-old on his shoulders, looking up over the crowd of paparazzi, trying to look over the fence gates of the beginning of the gardens here, just hoping to see one of the ivory come in, or even cooler, one of the spell blades. That'd be wild. But yeah, you find this. And there just happens to be one of the porta scribes there, just kind of looking around, trying to find something to fill his lattice. And as you bend down and hold out a scroll, probably worth more gold than his dad makes in a whole month. They thunder. They it can't be here. There's no weather in Eloria. It's all going wrong, and it's all Nimbus's fault. They get a beautiful picture of you handing the scroll over, and they in fact hand you a negative immediately, and they're like, for you, so if you contact us in 3 to 5 business days, we'll be glad to have that. We can exchange it for one of our finished proofs.
Oh, please, I don't need this. And then I quickly use, like, a magical quill to sign that, and I hand it off to, like, another adoring fan. Alistair, for all of his, like, you know, like, shitty wizardness and, like, shitty wizard hubrisness, when he's out in public, he is, like billionaire playboy philanthropist Bruce Wayne shit and everything. Yeah. And so it's like 2 entirely different personas, the public versus the private one. And then like as I'm imagine to the door, do a quick bow and walk in with Crowley.
Heck yeah. And then sorry, I gotta get a different note thing pulled up. As you're walking toward the door, back on the street, set a ways away, still outside of the throng of anxious onlookers and paparazzi, the forms of Valtris and Faust appear. How do you guys come in? I assume that you guys might come in together as you're kind of on the protection detail, Faust, but that's completely up to you guys.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I would say you go ahead and go first.
Okay, so my plan was to just, I think Valtris is very no nonsense, like literally the exact opposite of what Alistair is doing. Like she's here, like she would theoretically have fun here any other night, but now she's like, what if you will betray me, fucking Caesar moment. And I think she just literally no nonsense teleports into the party and is probably just like just a little too close to someone serving or like with a plate of hors d'oeuvres at the party and scares the fuck out of them.
Yeah, fully hopefully this 100% happens. I will jump in and say, Faust, I will give you an opportunity to ride the coattails in or make another entrance of your choosing.
I got my own.
Perfect.
So Faust, being the man who does not like to be seen, does not like to be known, his job is in the shadows. He cast invisibility on himself. He walked right through the doors, weaved his way through the crowd into the bathroom. He goes into one of the stalls, he drops invisibility, comes out, washes his hands with whatever the Austrian version of washing your hands and pretending to take a poop are. But he does that.
Thank God
washes
you
his hands.
asked me. Everything in their bathroom, their plumbing system entirely is run by cantrips. If you want to wash your hands, you stick your hands under prestidigitation. You got to go to the bathroom. There's a cantrip for that. I don't know what it is. Guidance, maybe. Who knows?
One poop removal, please.
Mage hand. I don't know.
No, I use Mage Hand for wiping.
Roll for piss.
Roll for
Save
phantom
water
poop.
for bidets.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Which that's a legit investment.
But so he comes out of the bathroom, grabs a drink, and just kind of makes his way to try and be as non-noticeable as possible. He hates these type of situations. His love is on the battlefield. He only does it because he's the head and he's pretty much told he's got to be there. So he's off in the corner, minding his own business, thinking about what he's got to do next and what secret plans he's working on, and trying to figure out what the hell this project is that everyone's working, or that his friends are working on.
I gotcha. So hey, you fully do. You James Bond out of the bathroom. Adjusting your cufflinks as you.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I forgot to describe what he was wearing.
Good looking out. Yeah. Tell us what the drip is.
The drip. Okay, first of all, I'm 44. I don't know what the term drip means.
I don't know either, but it's something to do with Riz. I don't know.
All right. Okay. That's a great show. 105.7 The Point. But
Do I need to do the Gen Z translator thing real quick?
Yes, please. Always.
Drip just means having a very nice looking outfit.
Gotcha. Okay, so he has no drip. Faust is an old military man, okay? Faust is an old military man. You know what he came in? He came in his least blood-stained clothes that are nice. They are like his dress blues, if you will, but they still have a couple blood stains on the collar or on like the cuff of his shirt, and there's some in the little thing on his on his chest right here. There's like a little blood stain there, but you know what? Gotta put out some sort of intimidation.
Absolutely.
So for him, it's all intimidation, intentionally left invisible.
Perfect. Do you want to do me a favor, and we'll resolve this in a second, but does Faust want to roll me a perception check, because he just kind of gets a vibe for the event?
Oh, you better believe he's also got his other eye on what's going on. Like, even when he's off duty, he's never off duty.
Heck yeah, 100%. Although, not bad. It's actually perfectly serviceable.
I have no idea what I rolled, so let me see.
It's a 13. Yeah.
Okay. So anything that I can apply my wisdom modifier, or anything I apply a modifier to, automatically has a base of a 10.
Perfect.
Because of my rogue feature. So that will be a what?
Probably looks like a 17 maybe.
Okay.
But in any event, we will resolve that here in just a second as we transition to, we'll say, Val, do you want to roll me a D10? Just a regular old D10.
Just a little D10. You got that.
A D10.
Here, I got a C.
I gotta adjust my Discord again because OBS hates me. Anywho,
It wants you to die.
6. So 6. We will transition to the transmutation star. Transmutation point. I'm sorry. which is the third point on the 9-pointed star, the third balcony stretching out over the city below. And as one of the Fairweather tech automata is kind of just, and it's very square, very straight-legged, very like 1920s robot toy, kind of like with like the little antennas and just perfectly lateral movements, is kind of just walking by with a platter of hors d'oeuvres, and there is a vroomf as Valtris teleports in. And the moment you teleport in, Val, coming in on the down low, on the sly, in the backside, coming in, on the, not trying to be noticed, you hear in the distance massive cannons blasting. And I'll say Alistair and probably Faust will definitely know, and probably Nimbus can hear this as well. All three of you guys can probably immediately hear this booming voice announcing, "Entering the 9-pointed star, we have Dr. Valtris Coalescence, Ivory Archmage of Enchantment, Sorceress Saphira of Eloria, the Weaver of Wills, the Enchantrix Pre-Mark." And there's a loud smattering of applause that gets lost on the crowd as it transitions over. It is truly a spectacle that they've put on that you have completely sidestepped and avoided.
I have found an alcoholic beverage from somebody, and I'm just like mouthing along to the words because I've heard it like 100 times.
100%. It's that stupid annoying cantrip, man. Somebody installed it on like all of the hot venues that it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bother nobody, but when one of the Ivory Archmages teleports in, it just immediately goes off. It's the worst at like 3 in the morning when you get your coordinates wrong. You show up drunk in the middle of somebody's backyard and it's just pow, confetti.
I don't like. Whose fucking idea was that? Are we all that conceited?
Yeah.
All right.
This is Eloria, baby. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Why I walk everywhere.
So that is. I just want to
Adorable.
take a brief inventory here. That's all of you guys here, correct? Perfect. I will say so. Just to kind of put everybody in perspective, Corbyn, you're walking around the probably the back venue spaces, trying to Val, you've just teleported in the back. Nimbus, you're out back as well. Jolie's looking for Faust or somebody, and I'd say you're all able to hear Val's entrance monologue, so it's very likely that you're all in this moment aware that you guys are probably all arrived and just yet to meet up. So we'll just take the first volunteer. Who wants to be the first one to lead off from here?
I'll go.
Absolutely, sir. So we will resolve your perception check.
Right. It would have been a 17.
Absolutely. So we see, as you're kind of making your way out of the bathroom and scanning the room, you clock Joelle, Nimbus's assistant. You don't really know her that well. You've just seen her around and had to vet her at some point.
Okay.
So you're familiar with her. She's a little wandering around in a panic, but she's kind of that way. She's a little bit flighty. She's a little bit. She takes after Nimbus quite a bit. But you see her kind of freaking out a little bit. You see a bunch of kind of just nobodies mingling with the crowd, mingling with the guests, examining the beautiful centerpieces, making their way out towards the back venue spaces, looking for cocktails on trays or hors d'oeuvres or just some music to listen to, or maybe some hot young wizard to find and get away with from the party with for a little rendezvous in the topiaries. But it's pretty chill, but it's pretty happening. There's a lot going on in here, so I'll let you take it away, sir. Not immediately seeing any of your compatriots.
Understood. Understood. Faust, being a man of studious observation, he sees everyone else calm and relaxed, and he sees this lady running around looking like a chicken with her head cut off. What is her name again?
Jolie.
What is her last name? Does she have a surname?
Probably. Give me 10 seconds.
Because Faust is a very formal person. He would...
Carthy.
Carthy, that's... Yes. I think it's Karthi, but yeah.
Okay, so so Faust would walk up to her. Excuse me, Miss Carthy. What seems to be the issue there? I'm sorry, hold on. That's not his voice. Excuse me, Miss Carthy. Why are you running around like a chicken with your head cut off?
Oh, shit, oh.
Is there an issue that needs my attention?
Her eyes light up as she sees you. This person, the conservatories of Eloria are more or less a civilian organization. She does not stand on protocol. Nimbus was looking for you. She was concerned. She's somewhere in the back, trying to not be swamped by paparazzi, I guess. Yeah, that's all I know. I don't know much.
So Faust is going to walk about 20 feet away from Nimbus. Going to see her just completely swarmed. He is going to misty step over to her, grab a hold of her, misty step out of there, just so they can get away from everyone.
Okay, well, Nimbus, you have been rescued if you are willing to go along with the...
As long as, she would know that it was Faust, she would just kind of...
Yeah, I think it's kind of his vibe, showing up like that.
Just getting shit done.
I mean,
TCB.
fully just Severus Snape that's just right behind you and has been for 5 minutes. Like,
So, I mean, literally, he just pops in. Official business.
commandeering this
shoulder.
mage.
And as this-
Mage and pops right out. 30 feet away, behind a topiary. Let's just say that.
Nimbus is mid-talk, but I didn't ask about their socks. As she just, disappears with you.
You hear a sending in your head, Nimbus, and it just says, "The cashmere."
So, we pop in together right as she finishes saying socks.
Sucks.
And he looks at him and he goes, "Yes, I'm wearing my best pair. It only has one hole in it. But that's beyond the point."
Oh, an important question. Do you have a left and a right one on?
They're both military issue.
That's a no.
Unisex. They're
But left
they're
and a right.
ambidextrous.
Can you walk in a straight line?
Can you tell me what you were looking for? I don't have time for nonsense. You were calling me. You were looking for me. What is it, child?
She just looks like she suddenly remembers why she had sent Jolie to fetch you in the first place. Oh, And since everyone's talking about their outfits, Nimbus's is where she's wearing a very dark blue gown with sleeves, and it's very, for the most part, simple, but just a darker blue to complement her lighter blue skin tone, but has little gems that are along that when they glitter, they look like little sparks of maybe static electricity or lightning when she moves in just different directions. But still cinched around her waist is her special little fancy fanny pack, as she will unzip it and reach inside, retrieve something, and she'll come over to you, Faust, and like right where you mentioned where that little blood stain spot was, she'll just kind of set her hand right there, and when she pulls her hand back, there's a little flower, like she just made you a little, what are those called? Boutonnieres to hide the stain of it.
Okay.
And then she'll go back in her fanny pack and very carefully, with now a napkin, has wrapped around the stem of the other imposter plant that she has noticed and has presented it before you. I've found these strange pasta, little plants inside my bouquets upon the table. I did not put these when I sent them over to Corbyn, and there is something nefarious about them. I can feel it when I touch it. It's like a storm. I can feel it static against my touch. But I feel someone might be plotting something against me, planted these in my bouquets to make it seem like I've done something wrong, blaming me for them. And she'll like holding them up to you.
Corbyn uses Mage Hand.
Okay, cool.
And asks her to drop it in there. Picks it up, and the Mage Hand brings it up for him to inspect. Slowly turning how he wants to see it, inspecting it clearly. Looking for any kind of danger, for lack of a better term.
Okay, I will give you... This... Oh, go ahead, Nimbus, I'm sorry.
I was going to just say, Nimbus is like right there, kind of up in the little personal bubble, mimicking his movements as he's like trying to investigate this flower.
Heck yeah. I will say, Faust, give me a either an investigation or an arcana. I think those probably fit your specialties well, and you can roll them with advantage with Nimbus's help.
I don't need to. I rolled a nat 20 on the first in investigation, but I'll roll another one anyways.
Oh, I got to.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the nat 20.
I'm gonna refresh my Foundry page real quick here for just one moment.
Got
and
a
then
32.
we will...
Oh, wait a minute! I rolled it in the D&D Beyond.
Totally fine.
I will vouch for him. I saw it pop up as a 32.
Totally fine. Totally fine. I just want to make sure
because the Foundry is not working right for me. It's rolling everything underneath Corbyn, and it's giving me his stats instead.
I got you. You're cool, dude.
Corbyn, not Ben.
But yeah, so with a natural 20, and that was on investigation, you said, or arcana?
That was investigation.
Okay. Perfect. Faust, this is not your area of expertise. You've got definitely some studies under you in the field of poisons and alchemical concoctions that can be used towards similar goals to what a poison would be, coating on a blade or slipped into a drink type of thing. But as far as recreational plants for that impart psychotropic effects or just decorative,
anything that'd be good for torture.
Yeah, but
or
yeah,
dark work.
Wet work, whatever you got to call it. It's definitely not your area of expertise, but there is an area of your expertise that you are able to tap into. It's the namesake for your all's little club. It's Bloodlines, and It's these little red veins that kind of scatter along the leaves on the top side, and on the bottom side these dark veins that look like they've just died or something, but the plant still looks supple and strong.
So Faust being avowed, I go by the rules. I go by, he's got a high set of morals. He knows that his friend did not put these here, and that is a red flag.
100%. And
So-
I'll say, continuing on that 20 though, real quick,
Okay.
is this is you're not able to tell what all is going on in this plant, but you can definitely detect some latent form of blood magic baked into this plant. You know this because of your own lineage. You know this because of the type of blood magic that bound you to your patron Jean-Vive Rosanna. It's similar, but it's different. But you're on the right path, I'll say.
So with this hanging there from my mage hand, floating there, I am going to, let's see. I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts. And I'm going to kind of try and scan the crowd.
Okay.
See if I can think of hear anybody saying the plants are in place, something along those lines. Anything that seems out of place. After that,
Absolutely. So that spell clicks into place, and it is an immediate onslaught to your senses. There are over 100 people out on this back patio kind of area, and all of that information, surface thoughts from all of those people, comes flooding into your mind, and it's superfluous. You've done this before. You especially down in the Undercity, it's no surprise to be in a situation where there's hundreds of people in a 60-foot sphere around you. But as you begin to filter through the normal deluge of the gross shit that you assume people are thinking about, they're thinking about it. The stupid stuff that you think that there's no way they could be thinking about that because that doesn't actually require brain space, but they're still somehow thinking about it. They're like, I will say, roll me your general spell attack. So that'll be your whatever your spell
cantrip.
stat is.
all right. So for that, here we go. Magic point. That ought to work, right?
Yeah, that'll work fine.
Or
Just
magic stuff.
the roll for it's all you need.
Another natural 20.
No kidding. Holy cow.
Oh my god.
This is fantastic.
Can anyone else vouch for that, please?
No, you're
on
fine because
DDI?
I can pop back in and look if I need to. I trust you. Don't worry.
Cool.
With a natural
Yeah, I can
20,
vouch for him on the...
hell yeah, that's groovy, man.
You telling me?
It takes you a second to triangulate it, but you notice a thought on the edges of your range. The thought is anxiousness, it's nervousness, it's trepidation, it's am I going to be found out? It's all these things jumbled into one. It's not anything specific. They're not whoever this person is, they've taken some care and some training in protecting their minds, not with any type of artificial shielding, but with some strong discipline. But their overwhelming anxiety and panic, their surface level thoughts, you can't get rid of those. They're going to paint a picture of what's going on in your head no matter what. Fully, like I say, it's hard to tell where, but someone towards the main entrance is extraordinarily anxious compared to what else is going on in the party today.
All right, I'm going to look to my friend here to my right and just say, if you have anyone, get every one of those flowers out. I suggest Mage Hand, as it seems to have no effect. Anyone you have, make sure they are covered, they are hidden. Well, I'm not taking any chances. You said they're not yours, correct?
No, they look quite similar to ones that I have created. My little purple flowers, they're very beautiful. But these ones are different. But Jolie said they were in every bouquet.
Can you sense anything? Sorry. Can you sense anything different? You feel anything out of place about these? Anything, tell me.
Since it did have me do a wisdom save last time I touched it, can I cast detect magic upon it? So yes, I will cast some detect magic upon the flower. I can't hear you, Jake.
We're not hearing you, Jake.
Are you muted?
I was hoping that somebody took observant and could read lips. But
no.
Anyways, sorry, my bad. It is.
That's not what I...
You cast detect magic, and your eyes kind of cloud over, and lightning strikes behind them as the magic takes hold, and sharpens your senses and heightens your perception. You reach out, and there's a tremendous amount, much like his detect thoughts, there's a tremendous amount of magical swagger going on here. Almost every person here is glowing like a Christmas tree, with bits here and bobs there, and little gizmos, and sometimes substantial magic. There's also a ton of people around that are using illusion magic or disguise magic to kind of alter themselves. But with your detect magic up,
Disgusting, beautiful.
She's gonna like whisper that as she's
as you in close proximity, though, you can immediately pinpoint. Roll me an Arcana check with advantage, Nimbus.
Not disadvantage.
And also, while you're doing that,
Oh,
Will, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will say, if you're rolling that with that detect magic, Alistair's outfit is just his robe of the Archmage, but with an illusion spell cast over it.
Hell yeah. And I'll say, while
down to the 9th, goes down. Sorry.
While she's checking that, Alistair and
I actually got something, if you don't mind.
Oh, 1 second. I'll get you there in just a second. I just want to get everybody to a kind of a happy medium. Alistair, Corvin, and Val, if you guys want to give me perception checks while we're kind of resolving some of these other dice, you are more than welcome to.
You got it, champ.
Nimbus, I'll say with your detect magic, immediately you're detecting two distinct schools of magic. One of them is obscure and kind of alien feeling to you. The other one is strong necromantic magic. And I'll say from the power of the detect magic and the proficiency that you wield with it, you're able to pretty confidently say that necromantic energy is coming from the black veins on the underside of these leaves. The top veins, the red ones, we're still not sure about. Faust, you were saying, sir?
Yes. So, are Corbin, Alistair, and Val all in like the same kind of similar area?
We are just about to actually. So, I will say that because of the large crowd in that's beginning to build in this, there's actually while you guys are talking, several other cannons are sounding, announcing the arrival of high positioned people in the Ivory Council, but it takes you guys a while, but you slowly start to notice Nimbus at first. Corbin, Val, and Alistair, you guys notice Nimbus, and then you see Faust next to her talking, and then I'll say, especially Val, you'll notice, Val and Alistair, you guys are really tuned into the magics. You're going to notice that they're both casting minor magical spells here in this public gathering. So you guys are, just for the sake of everything, you guys are all aware of each other's presence and proximity now. I'll say with Corvin's Detect Thoughts, you know that there's somebody around Paranoid. Nimbus, you know that there's definitely some necromantic stuff going on here, and Corvin suspects some type of blood, something or another.
I got what my next action is going to be, if that's cool.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm done. I'm just kind of facilitating
Painting
here.
a picture. Yeah. So, I say, Nimbus, come with me. Grab her by the arm, pop out, end up right over next to... Should I do Val or Alistair for some help with this, with maybe detecting or something else? What do you guys think?
Split the difference. I don't know, roll for it.
Okay.
Roll a d20
So
and
we'll...
call it 10 and under is Alistair and 11 and up is...
I like the way you think. All right. Let's see. 20 and roll. That is a 6.
Yep, call it Alistair.
Okay, so I pop over to Alistair. I take us both over to Alistair. And I say...
Sees most, like, how you see the most authentic stuff that you've ever seen on him before.
So I pop over, and I go, we have a situation. These plants were found in every single centerpiece. Definitely someone here is up to no good. You two work on this. I'm going to go find the person. And then I cast invisibility on myself and
run off into
disappear.
the crowd.
Can I...
Following... Oh, sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Alistair. Sorry.
Alistair is going to cast non-detection.
Okay, on who? On Faust?
On Faust.
Oh, perfect. Heck yeah, so you will be immune from...
You see Alistair's like, oh, here's just a little bit of spice for your investigations. He taps his hand on your shoulder, and you are under the non-detection spell. For the duration, you hide a target you touch from divination magic. Target can be a willing creature or place or object no larger than 10 feet in any dimension. Target cannot be targeted by divination magic or perceived through magical scrying sensors.
Heck yeah.
Okay, man, that'll be beautiful whenever I have darkness and my devil side up.
And it also lasts for 8 hours.
Oh,
yeah. It's
hells
pretty
yeah.
dope.
Thank you.
Pretty dope. Those 8-hour-long spells that don't require concentration are.
Hells yeah, man! You just turned me into the ultimate ninja.
But
okay, so I'm completely out of sight, out of mind, out of everyone's presence. Correct?
Yeah, you're getting that way. There's still, there's people around everywhere, but yeah, you're.
Well, I mean, I turned invisible and been.
You're putting distance, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I am using off that natural 20. I'm trying to focus in on the nervousness. I'm kind of using it like a compass, kind of trying to sense where that's coming from and where those emotions are coming from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we will cut over to you here in just a few minutes to resolve that. I want to get back to Alistair, and just keeping tabs on everything as they're popping around the back of this venue space here. You guys are now easily able to track them as they kind of move around. So Alistair, yeah, she comes up to you with this plant. What's the?
How are you doing at the party, darling? By the way.
Oh, good evening, Alistair. Your outfit is, oh, by thunder, quite a marvelous piece of magic that you got going on right there.
Oh, thank you so much. It's merely just a quick little work of magic and everything. Now, tell me exactly what's going on with this rescue of a flower here.
Yes.
Also, this is telepathic. He opens like a telepathic channel with you, so like
so
this
is this
is not being said in public.
Oh, so is this one where she can speak back to him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least.
Is it?
Looking at the I'm looking at the telepathic feat.
I think that's where you can read my mind, but I can't read your mind.
Gotcha.
Which totally fits Nimbus's MO. She will not probably do anything telepathic.
It doesn't give the ability to speak back, but I don't think I need to do that because I remembered the 20-foot thing. People can't hear you.
Gotcha.
She's also very known to talk to herself, so
yeah. Tell me everything you know about these flowers. Have you already cast enough magic on them?
Yes. Oh, before I get to that, that's quite an interesting thing that I found there. How are your socks?
I do not have socks on now.
How are you walking in a straight line with no socks on?
You look down, there's platform boots that he's wearing.
Nimbus is definitely doing the whole
don't your toes get warm without socks on?
I couldn't fit my feet in the boots otherwise, so we had to go without socks, but that is hardly the matter at the moment.
Right. I did detect magic upon it. I've sensed necromantic
Not good
magic coming from the black vines of the petals. I'm not entirely sure, though, what's going through the red ones, though.
Interesting. Okay. I'm trying... Can I cast Detect Magic myself and focus that on the red ones to try to figure out what those are?
Yeah, 100%. You can cast that and give me an Arcana check. You can roll it with advantage as you've got Nimbus here to try to help you debunk what's going on.
Amazing. Arcana with advantage. First one's an 8. Second one is... Okay, so that's going to be an 18.
Okay, perfect. Heck yeah. Give me just 1 second. I'm trying to find a...
While you're doing that, too, an idea could be, maybe we need to find Corbyn. I did send these bouquets to him earlier. Maybe there's someone here that he knows that might have had access to all these bouquets. My people certainly wouldn't have put these flowers there.
Possibly. That could all be something of the matter there.
As you say that, Nimbus, actually one of the automata comes chugging by and just chin, 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 chin. Care for a free sample of our screamograms?
Screamo? That would be perfect, Alistair. Yes, we're going to send Corbyn a gusting screamogram. I can't wait. Tell Corbyn to come here. Scream it at him. Nimbus wants you, Corbyn. It's very important.
I gotta warn you, miss, I don't think he's gonna like that very much, but I'm
I
on
know.
it. and chug
It's a
on.
joke between us, though.
No, it's going
He
to be
gets
so
them from me
funny.
all the
It's going to be
time.
so funny. You see, Alistair said it's going to be so funny. Meanwhile, he just like has his hands out, and he's just like there's like a crystal ball that's appearing in between his hands that he's like gazing at it through, at the flower through.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's get some dice rolls there.
Oh, I got a 18.
18. Perfect. It is not a magic that you're familiar with working the weaves of. It's a very peculiar magic. It's peculiar mostly because it is costly magic. It is in fact blood magic, and you're quite familiar with it because a good deal of what Alistair does for a living is keeping tabs on Madigan, and they're known for using blood magic pretty extensively. You're more than welcome to make me a religion check on top of that. Either one of you guys are.
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking my notes.
Oh no, you're fine, man.
Did you say Mad Mod again?
Kind of, but not really.
I sort of, with how often you have rolled that 20, Rain, I just rolled another nat 1.
Oh,
it is the third of the day.
Oh no!
you're having my luck.
No, you
Oh.
didn't. No, you
You
didn't.
haven't
You
seen
got-
enough Teslas today.
Just
No, you didn't. You got a 12.
Ooh.
I got a 12, guys.
Hey.
And you get to add your modifier to the 12 as well.
19.
Ooh. Hey. Turn that frown right upside down. I love it.
I got a
To have
14.
friends like you, Alistair. I was a little distracted there, with everything else going on.
No, the Scream again is so very funny. Do not worry.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope we can hear it.
This is blood magic, which is rare outside of Mulligan, so possibly their work. Maybe they want to ruin our big fun day, and they want to put a little bit of a damper on it, but
That's
lovely,
not good.
lovely.
Scalestone Mother was certainly not like that. She
And,
definitely likes all the rains and the bloods.
and Nimbus, I'll say with that 19 or 18 or whichever that was on that religion check, Madigan is an interesting place, but it's not. They're very. They worship two gods. You know that for a fact. They're a religious oligarchy in the form of one of the grand city-states. They are. They represent, or they believe that they represent the duality of life. They worship Raykar the Sunblade. They also worship Nixus the Gloomweaver. They believe in a balance of light and dark. Life must have end. So it's odd to see Madigan magics baked into this plant because this plant feels evil, and while they're certainly not great people in Madigan, they're also not great people here in Eloria, and they're not evil by any stretch of the imagination from what you've encountered of them.
That's quite weird that Madigan. Maybe they're all about balance. They worship Raykar and Nexus. Not my choice. They really should be worshipping the Galestorm, but with from what I know, this seems quite odd. I wouldn't say they're evil. This plant, though, it's definitely screaming evil.
And I will say, for free, Alistair, you These little purple plants in Nimbus, they're not anything new to you. You've kind of been keeping tabs on this whole organizational structure that's going on here in this little side project. And there is a good possibility. You're not for sure. You're not certain. You don't know what it even would take. This is a type of magic that's even alien to you. But it looks like somebody's piggybacked off of Nimbus's work, is what it looks like is happening here with some of the arcane structures that are kind of woven into the cellular structure of these plants. And about at this moment, yeah, go ahead, absolutely.
Before we jump in, I just want to try something. You see, Alistair activates his third eye, which is like something it's very rare to see him do. And I like basically in the middle of his forehead, basically there's a moment where a seam opens up, and this kind of glowing crystal eye appears for a moment and then disappears. And I'm going to use the ability. You can see you can see into the ethereal plane within 60 feet of you. I just want to see if I can see anything on the like ethereal plane, since there's necromancy magic on it.
Ooh,
like
I like it.
I want to see if there's something on the ethereal plane that I'm not getting just looking at it momentarily.
What's that ability called? That's really cool.
It's the ability Third Eye for a divination wizard.
Okay, cool.
Once for short rest, you can use your action to choose one of the following benefits, which lasts until you are incapacitated or you take a short or long rest. It's dark vision 60 feet, ethereal plane 60 feet, read any language, or seeing invisible creatures and objects within 10 feet.
That is dope. Yeah, 100%. As you expand your vision outward through your divination magics, like you've done hundreds and hundreds of times before, the ethereal plane is terrifying right now. As you look around you where all of these flowers or centerpieces on tables, there are just it looks like a garden, an overgrown garden, where all the roots are black, and there's just roots covering the entire outdoor space of this gala, going from plant to plant. You're even able to see, focusing in on them, it's kind of like an inverted color spectrum. Looking at these plants, you can see party members that are picking them up, examining them, marveling on their beauty, their design, their uniqueness. They're handing them around. These plants are being handled, and there are strong necromantic roots that are coming out. And you can roll me an Arcana or a Perception check here, Alistair, as you're kind of taking all of this in.
I will roll Arcana because I'm better at that. That is a 26.
26, perfect. It is important that you know from looking at this, as you, it's a lot of information to process at first, but you see these roots coming up from the ground, and you see these long tendrils of red snaking down from above, kind of swirling around these centerpieces at each of these tables, just beacons of miasma and negative energy. And
they're going down, like into the ground.
So if this is a flower, there are roots of black coming up into them and red tendrils coming down, kind of meeting in the middle, and it's an overwhelming amount of information. The amount of magic baked into each individual plant is far beyond anything Nimbus's hobby project was, not beyond what it was capable by any means, but you know that she wasn't actually trying to hurt anyone. This, as you watch it's hard to tell when you're looking through the ethereal sight here. A figure, a humanoid at the party, plucks one of these flowers from the centerpiece and sniffs it. And as they do, you watch a new dark tendril shoot up into that plant. Then the rest of what you see is pretty unchanged. I'm sorry, but go ahead, sir.
I'm going to send a telepathic message to both Nimbus and Corbyn and say, someone piggybacked off of Nimbus's spell, and I'm going to send, like, a telepathic image of what it looks like on the ethereal plane. Not to Corbyn, to Faust, but so Nimbus and Faust see what this looks like on the ethereal plane through, like, telepathic imagery.
Okay, perfect. And we'll cut back to you here in just a second. I want to go over to Corbyn. I think that you and Val have probably bumped into each other at this point in the party. Both two beings of intelligence far beyond your average person that do not want to be here. As you guys are kind of just mingling, trying to stay out of the way, as low a profile as you can take, Corbyn, one of your automata comes walking up to you, holding a tray of little cassette-looking things on it. And, Lord Fairweather, I was informed that I am to yell at you that you need to find Nimbus. She's over there. And he'll squeak and, like, turn his whole torso to point in the direction that he just came from.
Bella's watching this and just spits out her drink because it's the funniest shit she's ever seen.
They were not clear on the instructions. I'm just here to offer... Can I stop yelling now? I'm just here to offer free samples. I'm just here to offer free samples.
Corbyn is going to punch it.
Thank you.
Why would you do that?
Thank you, Lord Fairweather.
Fairweather.
Lord Fairweather has gifted Dobby a punch.
And now Corbyn just hears Faust.
Morbid.
Out of nowhere, she just hears Faust in her ear go. He just keeps on walking.
Yell out for Barney.
Oh, yes. No, never too far away, my love. What can I do for you?
Barney, make a note. We need to adjust the volume on these screamograms. They are annoying. Who decided on that? It wasn't me, right? And he looks at him like, I dare you to say it was me.
Of course not. No. It was mine. It was a horrible idea. I'm sorry. I take full responsibility.
Don't.
That's a good yes, man.
No! Yes, man.
Right.
Barney, I'm going to tell you something else here. I already gave you one piece of advice earlier today. Second piece of advice is blame someone else. It's never your fault, Barney.
Right you are. It's just, it seems to be that most of the situations come to arise that I am the, as it were, the one that gets blamed. So it's hard for when you shift the blame to me, for me to be like, nope, it wasn't me. It was anonymous robot number 42.
Fine, stop. Fine.
You're right.
Right. Anyways, and turn to Val. Well, I did want to discuss when you wanted to start this whole thing off, but it looks like our little flower girl needs us. So shall we go and see what that is all about, and then we can get to it? The grand finale.
I suppose history can wait another 5 minutes for her to ask me about my socks again.
Socks? Really?
Yeah, socks. It's a whole thing. I don't know if she wanted to know where I got them, or is just doing some sort of weird plant questionnaire shit. I
Most
don't
of the
know. I'm
greatest
very
minds-
surprised she hasn't gotten to you.
No, but, well, she probably knows I don't wear socks. Anyways, I'm gonna go find her. If you want to tag along, great. If not, also great. She's gonna walk off in this direction.
I might as well.
Perfect.
Faster you're done, the faster I know you're done, is the faster that we can do our thing.
Respect.
On the way, he's gonna be like, shaking hands with people and be like, yeah, enjoying yourself, doing the whole host thing.
I'm ignoring everyone who is looking at me.
Oh, which
Just a ghost following by.
which there are a ton of people that are like trying to be noticed by you guys. It is kind of goofy. It's
Somebody sent their drink as a little toast to me, and I'm like shooting, finger guns at them, crap like that.
because and just because you guys would, especially you would know, Corbin, because I'm positive Barney would be keeping you updated on this, regardless of whether or not you actually give a crap. But Caliph Emberborn and Solara Moonshadow are both in attendance, as well as Valtris, members of the Ivory. And you'd heard rumors that Orpheus Nightbane was supposed to arrive at some point, but it's a happening party, so there are people. You are, being the head of Fairweather Magitech, you are one of the most wealthy individuals in the city, and Valtris is one of the highest ranking. So you are you're two of the 5 hot celebrities here right now. So people are about and just kind of keeping on notice, waiting for you to have a wardrobe malfunction, or to slap somebody, or anything that they can.
Right. Which one of my robots? Alright.
I thrifted the coat, leave me alone. I thrifted the coat, leave me alone. I thrifted the coat, leave me alone.
But who are you wearing? I don't know. Some old dude?
I don't know. I'm not going to look at the tag. It's blue and I like it. Leave me alone.
Heck yeah.
Alright, so make our way to Nimbus.
Heck yeah.
Are they already in the process of removing the centerpieces?
Are you guys in the process of removing centerpieces already?
Not us actively, but I can imagine that Nimbus likely would have sent a little bird message, like a little animal, like a little white bird over to Jolie.
Yeah, and I think she is like in a corner somewhere, just mage hand, just trying to get him on her.
Have I noticed? Do I notice this happening as I'm like looking around the room, just saying hi to various people?
Probably not. I think she's probably inside the main building.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you guys, you make your way through the crowd over towards where Nimbus and Alistair are kind of hanging out, kind of perched around a table. Yeah.
Nimbus, how are you?
Corbin! I gotta tell you right now, those screamograms are the best invention you have ever made. I adore them.
Yes, I can tell.
Next one you should do, when they scream, they do like little flowers. They go, or just present people with bouquets. That'd be a good one. We should make that one together.
Sure, I'll make a note of that. So
This is the best idea ever.
Val?
Have we thought about losing the screaming and just delivering the flowers?
1-800-Flowers.com. No, we can't do that.
Well, we already lost the flowers and just did the screaming, so we might as well just, check all the boxes. We're rich. We can do what we want.
Like that. People like flowers.
Nimbus,
Corbin!
you needed me for something.
I did.
I send both of you the the telepathic screenshot basically of someone hijacked Nimbus's spell, and you see the black roots and the red the black roots that kind of mycelium connection between everything, and the red roots going down to the floor. And Alistair is just looks at you with the most haha, what the fuck expression ever.
It's fully hey, check out this live link picture I found.
Nimbus is studying Val's socks while this is happening.
Okay. What
Can
am I saying here? What am I saying here?
Go ahead, Val.
I don't know, but it's not good.
I would love to roll to see if I can clock that the red magic is blood magic and theoretically Madigan.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check.
I would love to do that for you, kind sir.
Oof.
What
Honestly,
the fuck is this red shit?
honestly, weirdly enough, I think in this situation, good lord, the natural ones tonight, guys, they're just on it. I think in this situation, it would be one of the weird times when critically failing that check actually does you more good than it does you harm, because you're looking for the reason for this red stuff. You're looking at this image, which is kind of like hell on earth, trying to figure out what the connection is. Is this blood magic? Is this some type of amplification? What is it? And I don't think anybody else would notice it but you, with your years of finding the peculiarities of arcane weaves that desire the proper amounts of attention. You find that this red miasma of tangles that filters down, and it doesn't connect. It's just there. It's just there, and it's like a false trail almost.
It's so out of place, it's not even connecting with the weave.
Yeah, whatever that magic's doing, it's not actually a part of the plant. It's just there to kind of be there, to kind of jumble up and make it confusing to look at, especially possibly from this point of view. There's so much going on, and if you hadn't failed completely at seeing those connections, you wouldn't see that there are in fact none. You would have been focused too much on the magic. You would have been focused too much on what it was actually doing, but it's kind of doing nothing.
I'm gonna point this out to Alistair. I'm gonna however we're looking at the picture, I'm gonna be this is terrible magic. I mean, not even ooh, scary bad. This is terrible at being magic, to the point where I think this is just trying to cover up something else.
Oh,
Whatever this red stuff is.
Hold on. Do I have Dispel Magic?
Like a red herring?
That's my exact thought. Oh, okay, don't have Dispel Magic. Okay, never mind.
It's useless. You just cast Disintegrate if you need to.
We're also looking at a picture of it, so
It's true.
Yeah, it's just a visual.
It's this is what I saw in the ethereal plane of these, for lack of a better word, blood flowers. Somehow, if we're going by your theory, possibly some kind of distraction, something else.
why is it blood flowers?
Blood magic.
Oh.
And
That's
what
fun.
scares me most is that they hijacked Nimbus's spell.
There's blood magic. They're trying to frame the Madigans for it because obviously whoever wanted us to see this would want us to pin it on them immediately. And I'm kind of like looking at Faust while I'm saying this because like the whole fucking Madigans thing.
Oh, I think he's gone and he's invisible and he's trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm
Oh,
gone.
he's gone.
Yeah.
NVM.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
all good. No, you're fine. We'll actually do a little shimmy and shake over to Faust, actually, as he is pushing his way out the kind of sliding out the front door of this main structure here at the Nine-Pointed Star. As a large dragonborn kind of muscles their way out the door, he darts through, following his coattails basically. As the door swings shut, he's out, and this bead of anxiety, of this powerful negative emotion, is in your head, and you're on its trail, and it's just on the edge, always just on the edge of your periphery. But it's not moving anymore as you're getting closer to it. Go ahead and make me a, call it an acrobatics check, sir, to get through this crowd without jostling anybody, because it is
I would
quite packed.
much rather do a stealth than an acrobatics.
Well, your stealth is implied here. This is
I
just to make sure that we can kind of navigate the, hey, not bad at all. Not bad.
Let me see what I rolled. 17. All right.
17 it is. And you're able to definitely step around people as they come in waves, and as they mingle and meet with their friends. This bead of anxiety is still in your it's there. And then there is another loud cannon shot, and confetti rains around you. Thankfully, far enough away from you that it's not threatening to drift confetti down onto your invisible form. That would be unfortunate. These confetti cannons are like right next to the entrance, and you're off to the side at this point, a good ways. The confetti cannons go off, and the announcer voice picks up again. Announcing High Spellblade of the Ivory, Jane Onster. As you see, in one way or another, one of your bosses, your direct supervisor, stride his way into the gates of the Nine-Pointed Star. And talking about Alistair and the Bruce Wayne kind of implications and whatnot, this is Bruce Wayne walking into a party. This is a 6'5" elven man, dark skin, completely shaved head, not lithe, not nimble like an elf that you might think, but muscle and just put together like a brick shithouse. This guy walks in wearing a long, dark suit that had to have been custom tailored probably today, because this guy probably eats a diet like crazy. So he's probably sewn into this thing, and he comes walking up with like a whole harem of 5 random looking just arm candy. He comes striding into this place, doesn't pay anybody any mind. He just beelines to the wet bar inside the main building. But as some of that commotion dies down, a lot of people are clamoring about him being present, because this is the greatest swordsman that's ever lived. Everyone knows it. He has never been defeated in a battle. He is the hot shit of Eloria. And it kind of just throws you off for just a moment, and you kind of forgot. And it's easy to lose place that you're at a party, you're at a social event. This isn't the front lines of a war, but at the same time, isn't it?
Faust everything in war. There's no more difficult war to navigate than your average high-born cocktail party.
That is the absolute truth, Faust. And as you're, as the proximity and the excitement just subsides from the last cannon blast, another cannon blast shoots off as announcing what is his name? Good Lord, I just have my notes up. His name is Archmage. That's what his name is. Just Archmage. Orpheus Nightbane, Dean of the Darkened Sun, Ivory Archmage of Necromancy, and there are boos that erupt from the crowd as people cry out, just, this is not a popular dude. And you kind of know this. As far as the 9 members on the Ivory Council, he is not a happening dude. He is not a popular dude. Necromancy gets a bad rap, but as you hear his name announced, you also interestingly notice in your detect thoughts that anxiety builds and gets stronger. Okay. And then another, 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 until spread across this great front courtyard are hundreds of beads of severe anxiety and dread.
So I'm feeling myself being severely outnumbered here, correct?
Well, you're not sure. So do you want to roll me an insight check?
$15.
15. This is one bead of severe anxiety is an anomaly. This is a data set now.
There's something going on.
There's something going on. There is a connection. There's a connection. You're putting it together in your mind. There's a connection. It had to be... It had to be when the Archmage of Necromancy entered the party.
So that is something to do.
There is some type of connection caused a tremendous amount of trepidation amongst partygoers.
All right. In my invisible and unseeable state.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm like this, will my mage hand be invisible?
It is not, no. It's probably been a short enough amount of time that we can say that it's still out.
Okay.
But yeah, but it won't be invisible.
All right, so I take my wave hand, or I take my mage hand, and I shoot it straight up in the air, like this, and starts to spin, hopefully catching my party's attention.
I would say probably difficult on that because there's a large double height building separating the front from the back of the...
Gotcha. All right, then I have something for this. Jesus, why would I put it on? Give me just a second.
Take your time.
Just got everything moved around somewhat. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there we go. A button on a coat and me a tailor. Okay. So I'm starting to notice. So I'm assuming that all of the, or like the one that I was focusing on, kind of got lost in the crowd. Correct?
Yes, but I will say that now that this whole smorgasbord is lighting up in front of you, you see one of them light up in front of you, directly in front of you.
Look.
It's impossible to mistake it for anyone else. It is just a high elven female. Hard to say her age, somewhere in the 200 to 400 range, probably.
These are all the people who smell the flowers, aren't they?
Hard to say. It's hard to say, but
I'm starting to put two and two together. I'm going, okay, there's not just one, there's many. They're all connected somehow. And I beeline straight back for the group.
okay, perfect. And as we all come together once more here at the 9-pointed star in the Towers of Elise district, high above Eloria, we will pick up next time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Guys, it was great.
Heck yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Dun, 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 ba-da, ba-da.